It's day 335 off the grid, and what have I been up to today? Well, I've just put up this quick and dirty aerial so that I can improve my reception of Radio Foxton over here in Shannon, which is a good, well, probably 17 to 20 kilometres from the station. And what is really cool about this aerial is it was so quick and easy. I thought that I wouldn't just show it to show what I've been up to, but in case anyone else wanted to emulate it to improve their Radio Foxton or whatever reception. Okay, I'll see if I can zoom in. Okay, and what it's made from is nothing more than a plastic coated piece of bamboo that you get from the warehouse, from, you know, or a gardening shop for, well, tying up tomatoes or whatnot. I thought the plastic coated bamboo was an awesome idea. So it's light, it's strong, it's pretty much waterproof, and it's just got a piece of insulated single core copper wire, and you could use basically any wire you want for that. You know, ideally you want it insulated, but it doesn't really matter what gauge it is. And all I've done is just taped it down the bamboo pole with insulation tape at intervals. To attach it to the roof of the house here, I've just used a cable tie up there on the gutter clip, and then a staple going into the wall here, and that's a pretty firm mount. Of course, you could come up with different ways depending on your situation. And the wire just simply comes down, goes through a gap in our old window here, and inside it's connected to the radio. That's all it is. I didn't go to any trouble to calculate the length of it for the right wavelength or any sort of difficult stuff like that. I just chucked it up as it was, and I'm sure there are ways you could improve it, like, you know, tuning it a bit better by maybe making it a certain length, maybe leading in the wire with a bit of coax cable instead of just the open wire, which of course can also pick up signals, which may be also picking up a little bit of the interfering signals, because out here what we find is that without this aerial, this radio on most days gets pretty good reception, but during some bad weather and the signal's not as strong reaching Shannon, it just gets too staticky to listen to, or sometimes when certain computer operations are going on, it sort of wipes it out too. And I believe that's because the buses in a lot of these computers run at around about the same frequency as the FM radio transmission, so not good. Okay, well that's about all I need to show about this now. I'll just go inside and show you how I've attached it to the radio. And here's the radio here. It's just an old boombox that my friend Owen gave me when he was shifting house. It used to be his workshop radio that he used to blast a few CDs on. That's really funny. Got to use a bit of blue tack there, stick it on the middle of the CD to hold it in now. But it does work, but the radio in it is pretty good. It's got a digital tuner in it. It's quite selective and sensitive. So even without this aerial, yes, we can pick up Radio Foxton on it. But like I say, there have been issues, and enough issues to become annoying. So I've done this aerial, and here's where it leads in for our old window frame. There's the wire, and this is how you connect it to the radio. Very, very simple. Here's the existing whip antenna. You just bare the end of the wire and wind it around the antenna. That's all there is to it. And I've just kind of folded it down here, you know, to make it sort of nice and neat. How's that? There we go. And that's it. It would probably be better to cut this a little bit shorter so it's only the length you need to get to the radio. I found coiling up that excess wire is no good. That seems to concentrate the interference that it's picking up inside. So don't coil the wire if you've got excess, kind of run it out. But that's it. Anyone could make that. You don't have to use a bamboo pole, anything that's insulated. I would just be a bit careful about using some of those plastic coated steel poles that you can say get from the warehouse and stuff. Now they could be good, but the steel core running through them, unless you actually kind of use that as the actual aerial, it might interfere with the quality of the reception. But you know, the bamboo pole's all good. You could just use any old bit of wood, of course. Could use a length of PVC. You know what I'm saying. Anyone could make this. You don't have to know anything about electronics or radio to throw one together, and you can vastly improve your radio reception for weak FM stations. Like, Radio Foxton is when it's a good distance away from the transmitter in Foxton. So I think that covers it. Yeah, I can't give you a demo of how good it sounds now with the aerial, of course, because on YouTube that would trip their audio copyright flags, of course, unless it happened to be playing something on Radio Foxton that was non-copyrighted. But just believe me when I say, without the aerial we can pick up Radio Foxton, but sometimes the reception's wiped out by the weather and computers. I guess especially if you had a Wi-Fi too, but with this aerial, we can run the computer and listen to good reception. So there we have it. This was all done on day 335 off the grid.